What's good, y'all? It's your boy 30 Green. We're back with more Ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some of it's not, but we still got to speak on it. So let's go.
Let's kick this off. Smokey Robinson files $500 million counter lawsuit against former housekeepers over sexual assault claims. Man, this is crazy. Well, moving on. As I reported on the show last week, Nico McKnight, estranged son of Brian McKnight, reportedly died of cancer. Like I said, I knew him. RIP to him. You know, I didn't know him, actually. I met him, but he was a real cool dude. So, moving on. Offset is demanding that Cardi B pay spousal support in new divorce case filing. This is crazy, right? As the drama unfolds. Moving on. After 150 years after being severed for research, the skulls of 19 Black Americans returned to New Orleans for memorial. This is crazy, the stuff that we went through as a people, you know what I mean? But moving on. Complex Magazine released their list of top 50 LA rappers, and number 1 is Kendrick, 2 Snoop Dogg, 3 is Ice Cube, 4 is Dr. Dre, 5 is Tyler the Creator, 6 is DJ Quick, 7 is Ice-T, 8 is Be Real, 9 is Eazy-E, and 10 is Nipsey Hussle. But we're gonna talk more about this as we go on in the show, because the Game saw the list and he was not feeling it, especially with him still being number 11, so he created his own list. So we're going to talk about his list during the show. Moving on. A Final Destination style overpass collapse caught on camera. Man, if these are not the end times, ever since this Final Destination came out, all these catastrophes been happening, movie theaters, bridges, and all this other stuff, maybe we should just leave that movie alone, huh? Hey, moving on. Man bought a TV off Facebook Market and got scammed for a Popeye's menu TV. Man, this is crazy, right? Ratchet news at its finest. Moving on. Ryan Coogler confirms there are no plans for a Sinner sequel. Kind of crazy, right? But maybe there might be room for a prequel or something. That movie was just too dope. As a matter of fact, it is out now on digital streaming platforms. So make sure you go out and buy support. Moving on. Instagram user said a relationship with no sex is also okay. Shay Jr., son of Ice Cube, said, not in my program, gotta hit the transfer portal. I feel him on that one, right? Moving on. Mom is catching flack for dressing like this at a kid's birthday party. Moms out there, would you be okay dressing like this? And fathers, would you be okay with your baby moms or your wife dressed like this? We might talk about this later on in the show. Moving on. Outfielder Andrew Toles, who has schizophrenia, hasn't played since 2018, but the LA Dodgers have just re-signed him, allowing him to keep his health insurance for mental health treatment. Shout out to the Dodgers. That's why I love the Dodgers, all right? And salute to him, sending him nothing but positive energy. Moving on. Going back to Brian McKnight, it's been reported that he made no effort to reunite with his son before his passing, and he called out the son's mom and his brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with Brian, but we're gonna send him some positive energy so he can get right with himself and maybe find some healing within himself. That's just nothing but just bitterness and hurt. But moving on. Tulsa's first black mayor announces $155 million reparations plan to repair impact of 1921 race massacre. But my homie Quez pointed out there is a huge twist to this, and we shall point that out in the show. Moving on. Nipsey's Marathon Burger doubles up with a new Venice spot, so let's go out and go support and make that large and popping too. Let's make sure that they're the best chain of burgers, like In-N-Out, and make them all across the country, yeah? Moving on. R&B and neo-soul singer Alex Isley is a perfect example of talent being genetic. I guess she's an offspring of the Isleys, and so, hey, she's keeping her legacy going with her vocals, and she's pretty dope too, so moving on. The Clips forced to leave Def Jam after label tried to censor Kendrick Lamar verse on new album. I guess they didn't want to face a lawsuit like Universal, right? Moving on. Oh, by the way, that new Clips, hard as hell. Moving on. The Wire actor Trey Chaney says his son is out of ICU after being thrown 300 feet in tornado. Man, sending prayers to them. All right, moving on. It's being reported that men in their 40s commonly date women between the ages of 27 and 35. And we might talk about this on the show. This is an interesting study, right? Moving on. It's being said that One of Them Days sequel with Keke Palmer and SZA is in the works. Hey, that was a pretty cool movie. I can't wait. Part 2 might be dope. Moving on. They're saying that Rihanna's net worth allegedly falls $500 million, but she's still balling though, and she got babies. But I think she needs to get back out, man. Put out some more albums, you know what I'm saying, and a tour. We're still waiting on that reggae album, Riri. Let's get to getting. All right, moving on. R&B singer Khalees owns 150 acres of land in Kenya that borders a volcano and hosts a farm and giraffes. Man, she is dope. She got one out here in Temecula too. So, you know, she's doing her thing. Moving on. Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Steelers. I don't know if that was a good move on the Steelers' part, but we'll see what he got left in the tank, right? All right, moving on. Elon Musk says Trump is in the Epstein files as a public feud escalates. They are not feeling each other, right? They're really going at it. And this is pure comedy. We might talk about this on the side show. Moving on. Wait. Elon said, without me, Trump would have lost the election, Dems would have controlled the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. Funny how he said this about the Ukrainian president, right? Moving on. Judge threatens to remove Diddy from courtroom after nodding vigorously at jurors. He was making them threats. It's turning out that Puffy just might be what people thought Suge Knight was. He might be the actual boogeyman. This dude's really on one, right? I think he's going away for a while. But moving on. LA immigration raids, multiple people taken into custody by federal agents is getting crazy. Lil Wayne drops the Carter 6 and people are saying it is trash. I heard it, you know, it started out good, then just kind of just went downhill. But, you know, hey, what do I know? Moving on. Last but not least, it's being reported that the last person to testify is a woman named Jane, which turns out to be 50 Cent's baby mama. And the details that she's given, I don't know.
Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News. Enjoy the show.